Welcome to another episode of Dreaming About Travel Podcast.
I would love to go on a vacation.
Bringing you our perspective on travel news, featured places to visit and explore, traveling tips, and much, much more. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to travel along with us. So, where do you want to go? This is the Dreaming About Travel Podcast.
All right, welcome to another episode of Dreaming About Travel Podcast. This is our second episode of 2020, and this is Carl Duncan from Dream Vacations, Duncan Demery and Associates, and I just want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in, and those that have hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, go ahead and do that so that way you can keep up to date on all the newest episodes, as well as sending in great feedback that we've been getting, and all of the amazing emails and questions as well. And today it's actually just going to be me. I'm going solo because my usual counterparts are actually all busy helping clients book their travel needs. So you get just me today. And this topic actually came from one of our listeners, Scott, who is actually in California, and wanted to know a little bit about some of the upcoming ships that are being launched for 2020. And so that is our topic for today that we're going to do. Because there are several ships, we're actually going to skip the normal where we have some travel news and so forth, because I want to make sure that we get all of these ships and the tips for them into this episode. So without further ado, I'm actually going to start with our luxury ships, because there's actually in the upper premium, because there's actually several of those that are coming out this year that you may want to check out. And the first one I'm going to start with is actually the Seven Seas Splendor from the Regent Seven Seas Cruises, and it's a 750 passenger sister ship to Seven Seas Explorer. And this exquisitely designed ship is going to feature about 500 crystal chandeliers throughout the ship. And I don't know about you, but I'm just imagining who is going to be cleaning all of those crystal chandeliers, because I know it's not going to be me. Splendor is also going to feature its own spa retreat for guests, so you can relax and unwind. Foodies will also love this, because there's going to be a culinary arts kitchen where you can take cooking classes, and they're also going to feature gourmet explorer tours. So I think those would be some really cool things to actually do on that new ship. And if you're into luxury, Regent is one of the best as far as the inclusiveness, because it's basically almost like an all-inclusive resort. They include almost everything for you. So definitely check that out. And then next up, we've got the Crystal Endeavor, which is going to launch this summer, and it's an all-veranda high expedition yacht. And you'll actually be able to truly immerse yourself in luxury experiences with sailings that include Japan, Australia, Bali, Taipei, New Zealand, etc. The cool thing is that this is only about 200 passengers on board, and you can also enjoy, they have a really neat glass-covered solarium with the pool and jacuzzi in there, so even in the colder regions of the world, you'll be able to still go and have a little swim or spend some time relaxing in that jacuzzi. This is an expedition ship, so it actually features a Polar Class 6 ice class rating, so you'll be able to get into a lot of different parts of the world that many other ships can't go. It's not quite as strong as some of the other expedition ships out there, like National Geographic Explorer and Lidbold expeditions have, and Hertigan and so forth, but it does have a still pretty strong rating and can get into many of the areas that you're going to want to see. And then up next is actually one of my all-time favorite launches, and this is actually the Scarlet Lady from Virgin Voyages. And so if you haven't heard of Virgin Voyages before, don't worry. It's because it is a brand new cruise line that is being launched from Richard Branson of Virgin Records and Virgin Air fame. And this ship is actually going to be an adults-only ship. 18, you got to be 18 plus, so no kids on there at all. And it's going to feature some really neat contemporary design styles and different takes on a lot of things that most traditional lines do. And so, first of all, there's not going to be any buffets. So no more going through a buffet line at midnight, and so forth. And they're also not going to have really any set dining times for seating. So, but what they are going to do is feature a bunch of amazing eateries that are on trend and city-like. And they also have this really cool feature where you can actually get some champagne by hitting a button on the app while you're on the ship, and it'll be delivered to where you're located on the ship. So that's a pretty cool feature. But one of the examples of that trendy and city-like style dining is actually a place called Razzle Dazzle, and you can actually experience a drag brunch here, where they actually have a drag queen that's on the ship full-time there to help with the drag brunch and have some fun. So it'd be a really cool venue. Some of the other traditional venues on board, non-traditional venues, I should say, on board will be the tattoo parlor. I've never heard of a cruise ship having a tattoo parlor before, but the Scarlet Lady is going to have that. There's going to be some immersive entertainment experiences, and then they also have some well-being spaces where you can just chill, relax, and kind of just, enjoy your life out there. So, and then one of the other changes you don't normally see is they're including all the food costs. So no extra upcharges for specialty dining. Tips are also going to be included in your fare. You get unlimited Wi-Fi, the basic beverages, group workouts, and all the entertainment are there without any extra fees. So that's a pretty cool thing. And then something that they've done with their suites is they call them the rock star theme to them, and kind of have changed the way that they're designed from a traditional cruise ship. So it'd be really cool to check that out. Then we've got Celebrity Apex actually coming out. This is the sister ship to Celebrity Edge that's going to set sail in 2020. This is an innovative and groundbreaking features are expected on this ship, and I'm actually going to be sailing it myself in November when she comes out. Some of the staterooms will feature balconies that extend at the touch of a button, which I think is pretty cool. And then the dining options are going to include 7 new specialty restaurants, so I can't wait to check those out, as well as an updated, enhanced fusion of performance and food in one of the spaces called Eden. And then the Magic Carpet, which made the Edge famous, is actually also on the Celebrity Apex. And this is a restaurant and venue that kind of goes up and down the ship throughout the day, depending on the time of day and what the event is going to be. It also can be used to serve cocktails or used as a private venue for events and so forth. And then they also have the rooftop garden and spa areas, which will be really nice. That rooftop garden on the Edge is a fantastic place to chill and relax. And I have always loved the Celebrity spa experience. It's just amazing. So definitely check that one out. And then Silver Seas is coming out with Silver Moon, and that's going to debut probably around summertime. And this ship is going to give you the small ship intimacy and the all-suite accommodations that guests already love, but introducing some new concepts to the line as well. There's something called the SALT program, which is new, and it's a culinary experience that will allow the guests to travel deeper through a gastronomic experience. And there's only about 596 guests on board, so it's a much more intimate setting. And then when we look at the contemporary lines and some of our premium lines, you've got a couple of new ships coming out there as well. So we've got P&O Cruises Iona is the largest ship that's being built for Brits. And this is not something that many Americans usually will cruise on. But if you're looking to cruise over in the UK or parts of Europe, P&O Cruises, even Australia, is a very good cruise line to check out. And on this ship, they're going to have a lanai deck that's about a half mile long, which is really, I think, one of the longest I've ever heard of. And then They also have a stunning glass-walled atrium, and then there's a sky dome where they're going to have aerial performances and immersive shows that'll be featured there on a daily basis. So sounds pretty cool to me. And if you're not into food, or sorry, if you're into food, no worries. There will be about 30 different eateries on board, so that's right, 30. And you'll also be able to experience a first of its kind. There's a new gin distillery on board. So we've heard of craft beer places being on several different cruise lines like Carnival and so forth, but they're actually going to have a gin distillery on board, which is kind of cool. And then Princess Cruises is coming out with the Enchanted Princess, and she'll share the style and luxury that her sister ships in the Royal class are known for. But you're going to also get a few new experiences. So you'll have the Chef's Table Lumiere, and then also Bistro sur la Mer. There will also be some new pools, pool tubs, and they're going to be doing a bunch of new entertainment venues, just like they have planned a jazz lounge, which would be pretty cool because I love jazz music. Then we've got coming up, Carnival Cruise Lines is debuting the Mardi Gras. Finally, after a few minor delays while building the ship, so their debut date was pushed back a little bit just because they had to get a few things right and make sure it was being done right, which makes sense. You don't want to have a cruise ship rushed through the build process. So Mardi Gras is going to actually have its main feature be the Bolt. And if you haven't heard about this, it's actually really cool, and I think everybody is really waiting to see how this will work and just to go and experience it. But it's the first roller coaster ever at sea, which I think is going to be awesome just to watch, and I want to experience it at least 1 or 2 times. And then they're also going to have the Ultimate Playground, where you can enjoy several new features on the ship. There's a 3-story atrium known as Grand Central Station, and that's the place where you can be seen. And then there's also a new French Quarter, which will have New Orleans-inspired decor as well as food. And if you just want to kind of chill and relax a little bit, there's the Summer Landing area, which is where you can do that. And then MSC is coming out with Virtuosa, and that's going to arrive around probably autumn time. This ship will accommodate an overwhelming 6,300 guests. Yeah, that's right, 6,300 guests. That's as big as some small cities, and be one of the largest ships in the MSC fleet. It's also going to share many of the same features of its sister ship, the Grandiosa, like their LED dome shows in the Galleria, the Aurea Spa area, and the Atmosphere Pool. And then 2 new Cirque du Soleil shows are actually being created just for this ship, and they're going to be performed in a new venue built just for those shows on board. And there's also going to be something new technology-wise here. They're going to have something that they call Zoe, which is the virtual assistant that you can use. It's kind of like Alexa or Siri or one of those. So might be pretty cool as well. And then our last ship is actually Odyssey of the Seas, and this is from Royal Caribbean, and it's actually going to be one of the last ships that arrives in 2020. And she's going to feature a resort-style pool deck with 2 open-air pools, hammocks, and casitas, so you can relax and chill by the pool area, splash around, have some fun. There's also a Seaplex, and this is going to be the largest indoor activity center at sea. You're going to be able to experience things like bumper cars. They're going to have glow-in-the-dark laser tag. Playmakers, sports bar, and arcade will be there. So definitely a lot of fun things to do for the whole family, whether you're a child, adult. You're going to really enjoy this. And then 270 will be a new multi-dimensional theater that they're going to have on the ship. And then there's also a couple new eateries that'll be available to you as well. So definitely worth checking out. And so this is our rundown of all the new ships for 2020. There are a couple other lines that are maybe specialty lines that I didn't mention in this episode, and that's because many Americans probably won't sail on them. But there will be some additional cruise lines like Saga is bringing out another ship, and so forth. And then there's a Mexican line that is bringing out a brand new ship this year. And you also will potentially, see Ritz-Carlton having the itineraries for Ritz-Carlton are actually now been pushed to 2021 with their yacht, but the ship itself, I believe, is still slated to come into their hands by the end of the year, so that they can start on those 2021 sailings. But that is the wrap up of our cruises, and as always, we want to thank you for joining us today and look forward to hearing from you. Please feel free to send us any of your comments or questions. You can reach us at kduncan, DUNCAN, at dreamvacations.com. And we'd be glad to answer any of your questions on future episodes, as well as talk about your comments. And hopefully we'll have the whole team back for our next episode. And we look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, everyone.